in the light of the recent events, people are concerned that's actually international law. Now I'm going to talk about international law to explain it. Some people think it's for others it's misunderstood.
Law is meaningless.
Useless.
Always too little, too late.
More than the will of the strong.
International law is a system of rules designed to protect all of us. But sometimes these rules are broken. Then what's the point of international law?
The UN's top court has ordered Israel to immediately halt its operations in southern Gaza.
Israel has to comply with this, but Israel will not.
The Russian president Vladimir Putin is now officially a wanted man.
It's a bold statement, the issuing of this arrest warrant, but it will likely have little effect whatsoever.
So international law often pretty removed from this line, but in fact, all not. You might not even realize. The coffee that I got could be much more expensive if there is no international trade agreements that control import fees for things like coffee beans. So this is just an example of that, but this is essentially what international law comes down to. All these treaties, agreements that most countries regularly have to each other. From how to share the sea, how to collectively protect the environment, to how they conduct war. But this is what is written down. But also there's something called customary law, which is basically an agreed standards and practice that most countries agree on. So you know this web of rules and customs together make up international law.
No state, not even an island state, is an island. States need to relate to each other. It is international law that provides a framework, a language.
Put it bluntly, it's a way of avoiding chaos. And more recently, it's become a way of instilling minimum standards of humanity.
It's a standard that we should all seek to espouse.
But how that works in practice is pretty complicated. To understand why, think about how domestic law usually works. In a sovereign country, there is a government with the authority to make the law, and citizens don't have a choice. But international law, none of these elements are clear. There is no top layer power, there is no global police force, and there is no single person system. So states mostly pick and choose or change their minds about which force and laws they want to recognize, with some exceptions like torture and genocide.
The paradox of international law is that it's created by states to control states. So it perhaps is not surprising that states aren't always willing to restrict themselves too much.
If the state doesn't follow the rules or international agreements, so when that, well actually international law cannot do much about that. So you may also think we have a United Nations. United Nations do not establish rules are not legally binding. So when it comes to Security Council, there's 5 countries like China, Russia, France, United Kingdom, and USA, and they have veto power, and they can go against all these rules and decisions if it's going to be threat to their wider interests.
Let's say you've broken international law. What next? Well, it depends. Quite often, nothing happens at all. Pursuing justice takes time and money, but sometimes things do happen. Let's imagine you are a state that invades another. You've broken one of the most fundamental international laws and committed the crime of aggression. You can expect sanctions and even military intervention. Now let's say you're an individual who's committed a war crime. You personally might be tried at an international court. This can take decades and requires the help of your own country. And what if you're an energy company that has spilled oil in the sea around another country? Then this might be a case for private international law, and your company could face fines and punishment. International laws are sometimes broken because of the problem of effectively enforcing them, but they are to guide us for when things to go wrong.
Although international law has not developed yet, it still reflects all parts of our life, from human rights, international trade, environmental protection. It's really important to understand that international law is in a position to help those most vulnerable groups like oppression and harm. In 21st century, international law is still flawed and has some of the drawbacks, like lack of enforcement, but still it's moving into the right direction. As a former director of Secretary Office, I want to say that United Nations has not created to take us into heaven, but save us from hell. Thank you so much.